So this is a nice example of another way to be able to monetize your content on the different platforms. Let's see. Yeah, these are I showed via screenshots the Japanese site here where you have only. This is a news story which is only available if I have a subscription, because I can read that icon. That's the only thing I can read on that site. So in terms of integration and graphical look and feel, you can make it look the way you wish. And what I'm going to show you is more from an editorial perspective, and that's of course ultimately when you deploy Easy Publish as a web content management platform. It's the editorial workflow that can be improved, because who is creating the content, what can they do with the content, in which channels can you actually have the content available. So I'll do a couple of scenarios. I'll populate this web presence with some content. I'll see how I can get this managed in terms of editorial scheduling for a couple of different channels, and finally how we can have this channeled to a couple of different channels, just as an example here. And the principle in terms of management of content is that you have several interfaces to work editorially, and the most popular is to work directly in what we call front-end editing, which means that I'm actually logging on to the website or the intranet or what type of solution you have. So what I can do is simply supply my username and password, and this gives me access to what we call the easy toolbar that enables you to create and modify and manage content directly in context. So if I go, for example, to my news section, I'm able to produce content here. We also have a back office interface where we have more features available, and some people prefer that, others prefer the front-end interface. And as an example, the Christian Science journalists, they are all producing the content directly in the web front end, and it looks something like this. This is the editorial interface where they have the possibility to create content and manage the content that is being produced. If I would like to create some, let's say, car reviews in this section, what I can do is choose the type of content I would like to create, from a structured content like article to more specific like a car review or what you would like to work with. I can also import, and to save time I'll use that as an example. So what I can do is basically choose a couple of documents that I have locally, and this can be Word documents, it can be open office documents. The point is that I'm fetching content from a third-party repository. Might be an ERP system or another editorial system also. Basically it's just so that I don't have to type in all the text while you all are looking. But here you see that I have two car reviews instantly published. They don't have to be immediately available. You can have approval and that sort of thing. But the idea is that I have a very quick process from getting the content from a Word document and into, in this case, structured format in Easy Publish. Most editorial teams are, of course, working directly in the web interface to produce content, and that's the main channel for updating. So I can update here, update it in Helsinki. You can add more meta information, for example, and edit any part of the content. A generic part of Easy Publish is that any type of content is always handled in terms of versions. So if you want to see who created what and at what time and in which language, for example, you can do that. And you can also look at the difference between two versions. So, okay, this is what I added, this is what I removed in this version. So at any time you have full control over the content that is being produced. But the point is that it should be very simple and quick to get this update out. And what I'm looking at now is, of course, the web channel, which I instantly get an update and a preview from. And this here is all available with the default setup, where I can have user-generated content to engage with your audience in this channel. Now that's a very simple example. Yes, you can publish a car review or a news article, but that is still, regardless almost of vertical, that's still the most common task that you are actually doing with a web content management software. Another example would be if I have covered now a Geneva Auto Show or something like that, written some car reviews, I need some additional content. I'm creating a gallery, just calling it cars. And this is a multimedia gallery that enables me to, in this case, for example, upload a couple of pictures. And this is the same mechanism. You just send the content to the web CMS, and this is converted if needed, fetching the meta information if available, and so on. This also applies to other types of media, audio files, or in this case, videos. You can either work with HTML5 video like H264 or Theora. In this case, I'm using Flash videos. The most common is probably now to use the HTML5 video and having a Flash fallback. Then you get both the iPads, iPhones, and other devices that does not like or does not allow Flash, and then you have a fallback for everybody else, which is still 90-something% of the web. This is also an example of, if you're going to have a web-first strategy, you need to be able to treat the content in a neutral way, and you cannot have silos of, okay, this is a specific predefined gallery, this is how you treat videos. Here I have a collection of videos and images in the same location, which represents total flexibility in terms of how you want to have your information architecture. If I would like to have the videos available in a gallery or embedded in an article, I can do so. You can instantly view the videos, and of course you can do the same with pictures. So I can go in and have a look at, in this case, a picture, and yes, you can view the picture. That's pretty great. There's also an example here which is showing the related content, and as you see, I just uploaded these. So this is based on the search engine and automatic relevancy, which is quite useful if you have a lot of content, and the relevancy gets better the more content you have. Specifically if you have a large repository of relevant content and want to provide automatic links to the visitors to provide more clicks and that sort of thing. But you can also go in and edit this, and just to show that this is the same system that is being used to manage images as with any type of content. We have the same backend. You have the versioning, the content diff, and the functionality is the same. And the difference really is, okay, if you look at an article, you have title, you have teaser, you have body, and so on. And for an image, you have the name, you have the caption, you have the actual image, and perhaps you have any set of meta information. So the structure that is defined needs to be flexible, and if you have a different type of content, you need to have a different definition of the structure. And also, if you're managing, in this case, content for a web front, for example, I can go in and look at the image and typical operations with images is, of course, that you would like to do a crop of the image because you want to have a more close-up of for the web. You want to do rotation, which is very typical when you work with images. They're either landscape or portrait, and not the way you want to have it displayed on the web. You can do operations like increase contrast and simple things like adding, for example, a watermark. It's not to say that this is a replacement for Photoshop, that's not the point, but the everyday typical tasks for image manipulation should be available in the tool, so you can do cropping, you can add the watermark or what you need to do. Another more relevant example, if you, as in this example, have a picture of a couple of persons, and you're going to, if you're in a media newspaper setting, if you want to be able to, let's say, print an image or make it available on the web, but for some reason you don't want to show this this face, you want to be able to anonymize this, you can do that. And this is a request that we get quite frequently from newspapers, because for some reasons, legally or morally, you don't want to publish a picture of a person's face. And to be able to do that efficiently in the content production workflow is an important step. So that's in terms of creating content, and I could go on, we could create blogs, we could create recipe databases. It's the same flow. You can either import or you can produce the content directly in the web interface.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
Pixelization you did.
Yeah.
Is it actually affected now on the other picture also, or only on that one instance?
It's on all instances that is used here. We do not affect the original image. So, and we also keep the version backlog, so you can easily revert, and you can, let's say that this is a web-only effect. If you go for InDesign, you can get in the printed newspaper, you see how it is, so go by the printed news. So you can do that. Just saying. Another important part, and this is not just front page, but any landing page or section front or campaign where you have a collection of content, you want to and need to be able to decide what's the main story, what's the story that we will make money on now, what will drive clicks, what will drive our ad revenue, or whatever call for actions you have as part of the site. This is important if you're a media organization, if you're a retailer, what product campaign do you have now, what videos are we pushing now. So if I want to decide editorially what content goes on the front page, you can do that.